And then after all that happens, like we talked about before, first thing I want to do, get somewhere safe, call 911, tell them what happened, and go from there.
Wow. Okay. So ATOM, Adam.
Right.
Ask, tell, options, and what's the M? How often do you hear about a lot of home defense situations from former students, or is it still thankfully fairly rare?
I've actually heard a lot more probably in the last 30 days, and I think that's
Holy
why.
cow.
It's one, somebody had their house broken into while they were away.
Yeah.
And it was just some of the things that they had the cameras and so forth, but they were 2-story, and they made that one fatal mistake. They had all the sensors on the windows downstairs, none upstairs.
Wow.
They got in through the upstairs windows. They didn't know anybody was in there until they got a notification off the cameras of the person's going downstairs. So where's all our valuables? A 2-story house upstairs. So, we teach them to say, hey, just don't put it downstairs. You got to have those sensors and protection upstairs as well.
I wonder how they got in. Is this a ladder or something? I wonder how they actually got into the upstairs.
They just climbed on the lower portion. How a lot of people have, maybe a
lattice
patio.
work, or lattice work or a patio cover.
Got on there, went through a window, broke it through there.
Probably the window was open.
Yeah. And this one, I don't really know. I need to ask him on that.
Second story, little air coming through, that kind of thing.
Yeah. And so I was telling
people. I don't think the media is covering home invasions. When's the last time you heard it on radio or TV that there was a home invasion?
They certainly don't cover defensive gun uses.
No.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's another thing, too.
No.
Exactly.
And if you have a CCW or if you have a USCCA, they're not going to bring that up either.
Right. Yeah, if everybody's safe and no one bleeds, and
that's not news.
Yeah, if you stop a robbery, nothing happens. The only time people are excited when nothing happens is at a baseball game, right?
There you go.
No hitter. Yes,
soccer.
So talk about home defense. What's something that people need to know about home defense that maybe they're now? I think that's a good tip.
Right.
That a lot of people aren't covering their upstairs. But
Correct.
what are some other important things that people need to know?
I would tell you about it. It's just about the locks. Get a have right there, getting some good locks on there, deadbolts. And also the other thing is a lot of people put their locks on. They have these small screws. A lot of times the builders, they put them in there. And you know how easy it is just to push that door through. Go ahead and get those extended screws because it just makes it that much harder to get in there. Yeah. So you need
what about a security door?
Oh,
those metal ones?
Metal doors right there. You got them. Have the security doors. Does it work on all of them? Some of them can have it, but security doors. I had one person said the HOA doesn't allow them, so I told them to do all the security with the screws, the bolts, and everything.
Yeah.
Have locks. For me, I know when my locks are open. I get notifications and everything. I can lock them. So if anybody's coming in and going from there, and
that's one of the easiest home security tips.
Absolutely.
Is I think that most screws that are actually holding the door in place are like an inch,
barely holding the door,
barely holding it.
Barely holding it in.
You get like a 2 or 2 and a.
Even 3. 3 is better.
3 inch?
Yeah, 3. I have 3.
3 inch. I mean, there's an enormous amount of. It's exponentially better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got a Roddy.
And you got a Roddy.
Yeah. 3 of them.
Well, I get it. One of the things
the house
I used to teach
that I don't feed.
What's the home defense NRA core? Anyway, one of the tips I like a lot is even if you don't have a dog, hang up a bunch of beware of dog signs.
Yeah. Well, who was it? There's a guy at PB. If you go down on his window, it shows a target on the range.
Yeah.
And that's all it shows, and a center mass.
I used to have a speaker back when they had the MP3 players, before everything was on your phone.
Hearing it.
I had I had a cradle, and I would I'd either play a book on tape, so it sounded like somebody was in there talking, or I'd play a dog barking. So I'd leave the house and it'd just be like 8 hours of like a dog barking.
God. So you did the Home Alone treatment where get your change, you filthy animal. Kind of.
Exactly.
That's it.
Hey, it worked. Never got robbed.
Yeah.
There you go.
So okay. So what else? What's
do you go out to people's homes?
I have done that. Some people go out there. If they say, "Hey, come and check it out," I'll go and check it out, give them some suggestions on what they need to do.
Because I think it would be easier to service the consumer if you could physically see what they're, because they may forget that little window that goes above the bathroom.
Exactly. And
You'd be surprised how many people can get through that.
Oh, yeah. I had a friend that they thought they were safe. They just had a small little window, thought nobody would fit in there.
Baloney.
And they came back. These people would use the restroom, ate their food, did everything, and then they put the alarm systems in.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing I tell people is just sensors, get your alarm system. Notification that maybe even goes to, you can have it to where it goes to security company or law enforcement, but you got to be careful about it going off. And then those false alarms can cost you extra money. And just get habits. This is the biggest thing, habits. When you walk out the door, lock the door.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Close the windows, turn the alarm, even if it's just going to be for a short little bit of time.
Or when you walk in your home, lock it behind you when you come in.
I do too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And lock the other doors.
Yes.
Because if you have a sliding glass in the bedroom,
Yes.
sliding glass in the diner, and all you lock is the front door,
It doesn't do you any good. It doesn't do you any good. So I tell people, and we have the things right there depending on where you are. If you don't have the AC, you have the sliding doors open so they can get some air, but have it to where if it's an entrance, the notifications. Those are the biggest things, just a big awareness.
Well, and it's simple stuff.
Exactly. If things that you can put a film on your windows, so that if somebody does break it, it's not going to break it. It's easy. It's not going to make that entry as easy. Yeah, it won't shatter.
Yeah, I got all my windows are tinted with that special
same right there
protector on.
Really? So if you break the window, it won't shatter.
It just breaks.
It makes it even tougher.
Exactly.
And then you have to sit there and try to wrestle that stuff off.
Absolutely.
I never heard of that. That's a good tip.
But you learn something new every day, even from old guys.
Yeah. You can just get that at like Home Depot or something?
There's a lot of window tinting companies that'll apply to you. Home Depot. I could see you out there slopping that on your window. You'd have air bubbles as big as your head. It would never work.
I was asking it for people who do things themselves, not me.
Can you see him while they're trying to put this
I
on?
don't. Yeah.
It would fall over on his head.
I don't.
Be like doing the old wallpaper.
I don't DIY.
Like a Three Stooges skit.
I don't do it myself.
You're not a DIY guy?
No.
I
I'm
make
a
a phone
hire a guy.
I make a phone call.
Exactly.
Yeah. Those are good tips.
One of the things that a lot of people don't do that I tell tips right there, know your neighbors. Because the reason I say this is, situations depending on your art. What if you have to leave your house?
Yeah, they'll watch out for you.
Who I can go to.
You watch out for you. You watch out for them.
Exactly. And
what do you think it changed? Like you buy a house, it's just a track home. Let's just say a track home. I've had the last three I went in and changed all the locks.
Absolutely.
I didn't rely on the guy that the
company that changed. They're supposed to change the locks.
Yeah, but I mean, even still,
Right.
the locks they put in are not the most top of the line lock that
not
you're
at
ever
all.
going to run into.
Oh no! Go in there, change your locks, get it to something that you're going to feel safe with.
Right. Exactly.
Absolutely.
And a big deadbolt.
Oh yes, always a deadbolt.
Yeah.
No, always a deadbolt.
But I like those security. I've got them on every. The only one I don't have on is a sliding glass door, but it's got a. I challenge you to try to break through that.
Oh, yeah.
It's a heavy duty.
Sounds like my type of person.
Well, I don't want anybody messing with all my stuff.
Exactly.
You got a lot of stuff.
Well, I need a tractor trailer to get everything out.
Yeah.
Because I got a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm done. I can't get any more. I heard it on air. I can't buy any more stuff.
Yeah, more stuff. Well,
House is full.
I was going to say, where would you put it?
I can't find any more places.
Maybe you do need somebody to break in, make some more space.
No. Then I'd have to get
I'll talk off air. We'll work something out.
Yeah, right. No.
Show up in a ski mask.
I would be a total new segment on Gun Owners Radio if somebody stole my stuff. I have an issue with people stealing things.
It's horrible.
It should be life in prison.
It's really violating. One time, I keep my Jeep wide open, and one time I went out to my Jeep in the morning and got in, and I think the door was kind of left open a little bit.
Ransacked.
It was kind of ransacked, but it's always ransacked. It's an old Jeep, you know what I mean? Like everything's already been stolen.
You don't leave anything anywhere.
And it kind of smelled like smoke, like somebody was smoking, kind of a dirty
smoke. You don't smoke.
But I don't smoke. But here's the thing, and they didn't steal anything, but I could just tell they had opened up the glove compartment and whatever. And it wasn't dirty, but it did have that smell. It is enormously violating.
Yes.
Gosh, somebody was in this.
And you'd have been way ahead of the game.
I wish he'd have stole it at this point. But it really is a horrible feeling.
Horrible. Yes.
And I got to tell you, prevention. I think a lot of times when people, when gun owners think about home defense, they think about I'm going to get my gun and I'm going to pie the corner.
That's the last thing you want.
Nobody wants to be in that situation. Nope. Prevention is really what you want to
concentrate
on.
They think they do. They think,
yeah, it's not.
I'll shoot him and then drag him in.
Nobody wants that.
But they think they do or they want to. They think it.
Well, I think that's where Phil Simulator is going to be a great thing. Because here's the thing. You think about it as a concealed carry holder, you're going to be out in public. You don't draw and pull it until the moment that you need it. The reality is if something goes down in your home.
So we're going to talk about that in the next segment.
Yeah.
About his simulator.
Yeah.
Or are you going to talk elections?
No, we're going to talk. We're going to see you talk about this.
Yeah, and in a home, you're likely going to have it out.
Oh, yeah.
Much more rapidly and readily so, and then you have to decide shoot, no shoot. Out in public, you've already made the decision shoot before you even draw. It's a whole different mindset, and I think that's where Phil's Simulator is going to be a key critical.
What do you recommend? Where do you recommend people keep their guns? Do you recommend they just put it on their nightstand, or what are some recommendations you have?
Well, it's a lot of different things I hear in different people. I always say it should be accessible, but inaccessible to kids and stuff like that. Right. Maybe biometric lock that you have access to right there. I've had some people where they have it in the nightstands, but it's secured right there.
Don't they have where you put your handprint on it?
Hand right there. It actually opens up your nightstand, then your lock and everything. Especially if they have kids. Me being by myself and
have you seen those mantles?
Oh yeah,
where the mantle drops down. Yeah. I mean, and if it's up high enough, a kid can't get to it.
Absolutely,
it's all about protecting the kids.
It's all about protecting the kids, but also having it accessible for that event that you absolutely.
I don't want to have to tell the crook. Oh, hold on a second.
Let me go. I
gotta get my gun. Well, wait a minute. I gotta get. Do you know where the key is? Okay, I'll be right with you.
Exactly.
So talk about your simulator.
Okay. Well, simulator actually something in my head 15 years ago. Yeah, kind of knowing what it is, and then 5 years it kind of came into play. And this is what I found out why I wanted people to have a chance for the simulator. We talk about, we go to the range, we learn our weapons, we even go through competitions so we can learn how to deal with stress. But what about that situation that we never want to get involved in too? That's the one we got to get our mindset ready for and everything, that decision making. I get a lot of people, they can shoot. I love it when people say, simulator? And I say, yeah, humor me, come on in. And we go through the regular shooting, the range shooting, multiple targets. And I said, now let's do some critical thinking. And we actually put them in a shoot, no shoot situation. And then it opens their minds and opens their eyes. Wow, I just shot somebody I shouldn't have shot. Or why did the screen go black or red?
Yeah.
I said, because you didn't shoot.
Because you got shot.
Exactly.
Right.
So it's not a mistake. It's a learning curve.
That's one of the things I talk about. What you just brought up a really important point that people don't necessarily look at it from the other side. When I in the CCW, on the how to get your CCW class, I would say, hey, do you know where you can and can't carry?
Right.
And they'd say, well, HEMA, whatever. And I'd ask them to, a series of questions like, can you carry at a retail store that says no guns? Can you carry at a post office? Can you carry at the DMV? All these places. And I know a lot of people would think, well, if I don't know I can carry there, I just won't carry there. Okay, but what's the danger in that?
Correct.
What if that's the time? What if you could carry there and that's the time you needed it?
Exactly.
And that whole hey, screen goes black, So it's not like you can say, well, if I don't know they're a bad guy, then I just won't shoot. Okay, well, there's a danger there too.
Exactly.
Because what if they are a bad guy and you didn't stop the attack?
Exactly.
And now you're the victim. Yep. And I think it's an important point to make, because your gun's a shield, not a sword,
Exactly. The other thing that's really good about what we do at the simulator, it's not just guns. We actually have it to where I tell people, I said, hey, chemical agent, pepper spray, and also tasers, they can actually practice with that as well. There are times, like I said, CCW, I've had on duty as a security and otherwise, I've had the firearm, I've had the taser and the pepper spray, But the key thing is the simulator actually gets to where they can avoid it. We have over 1,000 different scenarios, but guess what? We can do 7 different outtakes. Well, Alicia gets one, she has to shoot. Mike, I give you one, guess what? They don't shoot. But what we have is people.
But it's the same look. It's the same look, because I can't cheat and go,
exactly.
I remember this level.
Exactly. And we've been doing that to a lot of the CCW renewals. They said, hey, I was here 2 years ago. I said, great. And then we get them to another scenario. I didn't see that one before. Exactly. Yeah. And you talk about USCCA. I like their scenarios because they have it. You're driving. You're dealing with the transients. All the things that we deal with on a regular basis.
Dealing with the transients.
Oh yeah, transients. You know, they asking for money.
Sure.
You know, how do you talk to them? And then the options. How about just leave? Not standing your ground for that situation.
Truly, I'm a big fan. I don't really talk about it a whole lot, but I'm a big fan of pepper spray.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, homeless folks, whatever,
Yep.
whatever the right term is for them these days. But you're not going to shoot them. I mean, probably you're not going to need to shoot them, but you might need to pepper spray them to get away. Because if they get too aggressive,
It's important to be proportional with your response, and
Yes.
when all that you have is a gun, it tends to come out sooner than it should, sooner than it legally is allowed to.
Exactly.
Pepper spray allows you to de-escalate before it gets to that point.
Yeah, and they're not either or. It's not like, well, I'll either
Right.
carry a gun or pepper spray.
Carry
They have-
both.
Yeah,
Both,
well,
absolutely.
hopefully.
You should.
But they have different roles. There's probably a lot of overlapping circles.
Exactly.
But they're not. It's not an exact like either or. They have it's a very different tool. It's like a wrench and a screwdriver. Or a wrench and a hammer. I mean, maybe you can nail you can drive a nail with a wrench, but that's not really the right tool.
Right.
So maybe you can, confront somebody with a pepper spray, but it might not be the exact right tool for that situation. So it's not like it's not an either or necessarily.
Right.
I actually used to buy them a lot. I need to get more. I used to buy pepper spray a lot. And when I would go out to eat for lunch, I would put my keys and phone and pepper spray on the table. And inevitably the waitress would ask about it. And by the end of it, I would tell her all about pepper spray, and I'd usually leave it for her. And I've seriously given away dozens of bottles of pepper spray to waitresses across the county as above and beyond the tip, but still as a tip. I think there's not enough talk about that. So I'm glad to hear that your simulator incorporates that and trains on that as well.
Yeah, we're doing that a lot more. We're getting rid of so many people have been asking that you'll actually see it pretty soon that we're going to offer that pepper spray class. And like I said, they'll go out of there, and we like the pepper spray that we provide because it's got the same head as the law enforcement. So it's going to go 21 feet instead of this distance where most pepper sprays, they get too close. We want them to keep a distance. And the main thing we teach people right here, especially with the simulator, start using the mouth to actually articulate. And we give them this acronym. It's not something I created, it's just kind of put on there. It's ATOM. First thing you do is you ask that person to stop. Basically say, get back. I don't feel comfortable with you coming up on me. Then you tell them. But when you tell them what's going to happen. Hey, if you keep coming at me, I will protect myself, or be specific. I will spray you. Mm-hmm. Third thing, give them an option. Hey, all you have to do is leave. Just get back. Let me go. And then if the threat gets there, whether it's pepper spray, taser, but you're also talking to those around, creating your witnesses. And then after all that happens, like we talked about before, first thing I want to do, get somewhere safe, call 911, tell them what happened, and go from there.
Wow. Okay. So ATOM, Adam.
Right.
Ask, tell, options, and what's the M?
Make. So ask
I
the threat
got you.
to stop, tell the threat to stop, give the option for the threat to stop. Unfortunately, they kept going, make the threat stop.
Wow. That's a good one. I like that. What brand? You said there's a particular brand that you like of pepper spray? Everybody's got their favorite. What's yours?
Well, what we
Do you
use,
remember, or?
we like Sabre. It's the same
Sabre, okay.
right there. And a lot of people don't know you can only carry 2.5 ounces or less.
Yeah.
So what we got, though, that's why we like the one we use. It's the one that has the same head as law enforcement that shoots 21 feet out. So, I mean, I'm not going to have to get close. I want people, my loved ones, all my loved ones have it. So
Shouldn't let any threat into your zone.
Exactly.
That's it.
How much are they?
Real cheap. We get them for, I sell them for like $10.
Oh, wow.
You, for the longest time,
Yeah.
were carrying them around and giving them to waitresses.
Yeah, that's what we were just saying.
That's what we're doing too. We were giving them to people because I would prefer a lot of people that need them to have them.
Yep.
Not trying to make a problem. No, I want you to be safe.
Is there anyone that you should not look into? I don't mean to badmouth another company,
Right.
but there
Any
are some,
dime store, drugstore.
well, there's good,
Yeah.
and then there's not so good.
I'd absolutely say I haven't looked past Sabre. I like them.
I know two brands that do third-party testing to where I would trust that they have in
There you
them
go.
and contain what they say they have. Beyond that, I personally haven't seen no evidence that they're legitimate.
Okay,
And those
what's
are-
the life expectancy of a container of pepper spray?
It depends on how you use it. I've seen
Well,
them
say you
pass
don't-
up to
say it's in
2+
your
years.
door.
They'll have an expiration
Yeah.
date. I've seen them valid for up to 3 years. The ones that I've seen, but check a good
Because
quality
that's
company's
important.
gonna have an expiration
My
date.
wife's got one,
Oh, yeah.
She's had to have it 4 or 5 years already. Never used it.
I would say get another one.
Yeah, the capsaicin that's in it is still going to be valid. However, it may not have any of the propellant left, so it won't go. Yeah,
exactly.
I was thought, like, why doesn't Tabasco have? Like, you'd think, right?
It just
doesn't go 21 feet, right?
Exactly.
But yeah, the two brands that I found that I would trust would be Sabre is one of them,
yes,
and then Palm is the other one. And I personally like the deployment of Palm better. Yep. However, both Sabre and Palm both are going to be legitimately great.
That's what she has. She has a Palm.
Yeah.
I used to carry Mace, like the brand. A lot of people, it's kind of like Band-Aid, like it's Mace is actually just the company that makes it.
Mm-hmm. Are they still around?
I know, right?
I haven't seen them around.
What about tasers? Because the company that you buy a taser from,
high fail rate.
Yeah.
Is it a high fail rate?
Tasers can be, yeah.
Because I know they have if you buy one and you use it and you send the police report in, they'll give you a new cartridge.
Yeah.
You've been pepper sprayed, haven't you? Back when you were in the Marine Corps, didn't they make
pepper spray? That's like
they did it.
That's
for
a loaded
fun.
question.
Yeah, really. I mean, if you ever been pepper sprayed by
worse than that in the Marines.
I've been pepper sprayed
As an
and
example.
I've been tased over 30 plus times. Why I did it that many times, I don't know.
Jeez,
that's when he used to have hair.
That's why I lost my hair.
He lost all his hair. What was it that we used to use in the military? They put you in the tip.
OC spray.
Yeah, that was the pepper spray right there. Yeah.
The one that I'm way older than you. This was back in the 60s.
Agent Orange?
No. I can't even I honest to God, I can't think of what they call it. But they'd bring you in as a basic training.
No. That was the CS.
What was it?
The CS gas.
Yeah.
Yep. Just put your pepper.
It was like the spit of a Tyrannosaurus Rex or something.
That was nasty.
Yes, it was.
You'd gag. You'd be gagging but they pull your mask off and
sing or whatever you had to do at that time.
It's phenomenally painful.
Very much so.
It's phenomenally
sticks
painful.
With you for quite some time.
I haven't been sprayed like that, but I actually had to pepper spray. I've told this story on air, but I've pepper sprayed somebody, and that person still lunged at me, and it got on my arm, and the next day it felt like a really bad sunburn all day.
Absolutely.
That's
that guy
as close.
That guy was up on something for sure.
No, he wasn't. He
did you check him out?
He actually, I pressed charges and everything. He wasn't drugged up. Well, he was a little drunk. He was drunk. He was
you
all,
do a lot of crazy stuff when you're drunk.
He was all hopped up on Pabst Blue Ribbon, but other than that,
God, what an embarrassing thing to say.
One thing I wanted to mention, like I said, we talked earlier, is that we do have our mobile simulator, so we can go to people.
Talk about that. So how does that work?
Yeah. Basically, what there is just like it is up there. It's one screen, but it still has all the scenarios. In fact, the gun show we had in San Diego, we brought it there, and that's where a lot of people really got introduced. You get the same scenarios, one screen. You still have to interact with it, but we go to you.
What's
a birthday party?
Okay, is it like
saying.
birthday parties, or like what's a scenario that you
birthday parties, training, whatever you want.
Oh wow,
business ownership. If you have somebody
Yep.
working at a 7-Eleven, have a simulator party.
There you go.
That's awesome, man.
I'm going to have one at my birthday this coming month.
See, there you go.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
In August or July?
July.
What day?
25th.
Yes, Leo. I knew I liked this.
So, Shore Shot, what's your website?
It's, now we got it right there. info@shoreshot.com. Make it real easy.
Info at Shore Shot.
SHORE.
SHORE.
Hey, it's always great having you out.
All right. Appreciate it.
Thanks for watching this clip from Gun Owners Radio. If you're watching mainstream media, you're not getting the truth about guns. Gun Owners Radio is the easiest way to stay on top of the Second Amendment fight, the fight for your self-defense rights. You can watch our live stream on YouTube every Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. California time, or if you're in San Diego, AM 1170, FM 96.1, The Answer. We're also available on your favorite podcast platform. Just search Gun Owners Radio and you'll find our show. Like and subscribe to help defend and restore the Second Amendment, not just in California, but across the country.